What is up, guys? Ninja Nick back with another round of the Pokemon Trading Card Game World Championships Day 2. We have a Mew Mirror, both of which prize a Fusion Strike Energy and a 1-1 Mew VMAX line, which is kind of hilarious in all honesty. We've got Consta Kalama versus Dionysus Lee here. Is that Finland and Singapore? I think. That looks like FI and SG, so I'm assuming FI is Finland and SG is Singapore. I did play somebody from Singapore at the Open after the 2019 World Championships, and I threw the game. I forgot to hard attach 1 energy to my Charizard to have the 6 energy to get the bonus effect of the Reshizard, to get the bonus effect to be able to one-shot their active, and I had Shrine of Punishments in play, which was going to do the last damage counter needed to knock out the Raichu tag team on the bench, so I was going to take a 6 prize turn. I did search for it with the Giant Hearth, but I just forgot to attach it, and honestly, my opponent was expecting to lose the game there. And there was no judging staff looking around, and I could have said, yep, that's the knockout, and I win, I take 6 prizes, but I owned up to my mistake, and I said, hey, look, I searched the energy, I forgot to attach it because I tunneled, as I do. You guys know by now how much I love to tunnel vision. But, yeah, I said, I forgot to attach the energy, and because of that, I definitely don't deserve the win, so I'm gonna give it to you. And it was last round of the Open, and I would have gotten CP for the next season, but it didn't matter. It didn't end up mattering because I was going to take that next season off anyway. And then COVID happened, and the next season ended up being effectively the next 3 years. But it was certainly the break I needed. I was burnt out. So Dionysus goes first, does a battle VIP pass and some other stuff to get a whole bunch of Pokemon on the bench. And now we can use some Genesects to draw some cards should we choose to. We even get a Forest Seal Stone and a Choice Belt into play. Just insult to injury here for Consta, who is going to have to go second. Both of which have a Genesect in the active spot, but of course the Mew player who goes first is the one who is favored to win generally. It's very hard to set up the Meloetta turn 2 Melodious Echo play. Even gets a Fusion Strike energy in play. Again, insult to injury. Dionysus is drawing hotter than I've seen a Mew deck draw since pre Silver Tempest, so and just a pass of the turn from there. So Consta does not have that great of a hand, has 2 double turbo energies. Actually, no, the hand is actually pretty decent. We have, it looks like 2 Feather Ball, I want to say, along with a battle VIP pass. So you battle VIP pass for maybe double Genesect, or you do 1 Genesect and the Meloetta, and then you double Feather Ball for 2 Mew Vs. I think you might actually want to search for the Meloetta just because of the fact that you are going second. So I'm going to check some item cards here as well. I'm not quite sure how they're sorting the deck here. Usually I see people put Pokemon to the front, energies to the back, and then just kind of finger through the trainers in the middle at times. But yeah, he's definitely sorting absolutely everything to the front, one after another, to check the counts. Which is not how I normally see it done. And feels like a little bit of an extra waste of time when you could have, not done that. So, again, still sorting through the deck here. So we are going to get Meloetta Genesect. Yeah, that's what I thought might happen. Then we're going to go double Feather Ball. Did you fail the first one? Is what bad players say. I'm just trying to get a cheap win instead of actually playing the game. I hate that so much when people are like that. Pokemon is big about, well, I guess not so big about intent, but at least in that situation, when you're putting both of them down at the same time, it definitely shows the intent to just be playing both of them simultaneously. But I still try to play one at a time just because I don't want to hear that from my opponent. I don't want to hear, oh, did you fail the first one from them? So we're going to use our first Genesect to draw 2 here. We get another fusion. We get a Fusion Strike energy here. Do we have the Elisa Sparkle to be able to... Yeah, definitely have to go for the potential of the... Yeah, you definitely want to try to get the Elisa Sparkle here. Because if you can get the first 2 prize cards, you definitely are favored to win this game. So we are going to Ultra Ball and fail it. And then if we have another item card in hand, we could use that Cram-O-Matic. But if not, we can just use this last Genesect to be able to search our deck, or to draw a few more cards. Looks like we have a 3-card hand here, so drawing 3 cards to find the Elisa Sparkle. If we find at least another item card, we could always try the Cram if we do fail to find the Elisa Sparkle from this. And we do find 2 more item cards, so I would say... maybe cram away the Power Tablet would feel fine. I would want to keep the Ultra Ball for next turn to find the Mew VMAX. But it looks like he's thinking about getting rid of the Ultra Ball with the Cram. Yeah, definitely I feel better with the Power Tablet, because if you are able to take the first 2 prize cards here... Oh, wait, no, he still needs to be able to retreat. He doesn't have a retreat. Or a switch card. He still needs one of those as well. Oh, yeah, there was no way he was taking the knockout here. So, yeah, Dionysus is looking very favored for this match now. Five, 1, and 1. I think maybe this is the winning into top cut. Yeah, that would make sense. 6, 1, and 1 being guaranteed top 8. No, 8-round tournament would make sense. I think a 6 and 2 might bubble in. Potentially, it depends on if the cut is clean or not. And by a clean cut, I mean all of the 6-1-1s making it, and then nobody with a worse record making it. Is that an escape rope? I can't tell because it's off camera, guys. So, yep, looks like we are going to switch into our other Mew V, opting to not let a Genesect get knocked out, maybe. I mean, that's probably correct, right? I don't know how I feel about that, though. Because you could always evolve into double Mew VMAX, and then that's 2 Pokemon that your opponent cannot one-shot very easily. Although I suppose if Dionysus is able to go for the attach Fusion Strike energy for turn and then Elisa Sparkle, you could just get hit for 310 right now. So, yeah, Dionysus has 2 turns to be able to pull out enough Fusion Strike energy. And it looks like we evolved our active that has the Choice Belt when we should have evolved our other Mew that had the Fusion Strike energy on it so that we could attach this Fusion Strike energy for turn and YouTube buffers a little bit. And now we have to find another Mew VMAX. Oh, but we have the Ultra Ball, so it's fine. We use a Genesect just to draw 1 more card so that maybe we can discard a less important card than some of the other cards that we have in hand. So that will be that Iono we just drew, as well as a Power Tablet we already had in hand. So being able to find this Mew VMAX for the bench, and then we can just retreat into it and use Cross Fusion Strike to copy Techno Blast from the Genesect V and take the knockout on the active Mew V, going ahead 2 prize cards in this mirror match. The reason they call it a mirror match is because it's like looking in a mirror. The two of you are playing the exact same deck. Mirror matches can be very skill intensive and difficult to win. But oh, Cleansing Gloves is really great in the mirror as well. That's usually for the Gardevoir EX, because the Choice Belt does not allow you to deal additional damage to EX Pokemon. But we also find the Elisa Sparkle. We're able to get one more Fusion Strike energy into play, this time onto the Meloetta, because we did prize one. Both players did prize one. And yeah, now we can just retreat, and we can copy Melodious Echo with our other Mew VMAX now that we've used that Elisa Sparkle, not having to use Techno Blast. Who even puts the Cleansing Gloves on the Meloetta. And plays Path to the Peak to limit Consta's outs here. We will have to see. Does Consta have a way to remove this Path to the Peak? It looks like that's a no. See, he had the Path to the Peak in the last turn and chose not to play it. I feel like that might have been a bad decision. So it looks like we are going for the Ultra Ball now. Gonna find a Mew V instead of the Mew VMAX. It's an interesting choice, because you definitely need the Mew VMAX this turn in order to even attack. Unless you're going to attack with the Meloetta, I suppose. And then just the Judge after that. So we have the double turbo attached for turn to the active with the Choice Belt. And yeah, I think if you were to have searched out the Mew VMAX instead, you would have one less Pokemon in play, but it doesn't matter if you're under Path to the Peak. You're not going to be able to use Genesect's ability that much anyway. And your out to it would be a Lost Vacuum that would be able to remove that stadium and a card from your hand. So looks like luckily we do find the Mew VMAX as well as a Forest Sealstone just in case. And it's a little, oh, 2 Forest Sealstones even. So yeah, you could just play double Forest Sealstone and I guess that one Genesect is stuck in your hand, but if your opponent like plays a Judge or Iono now because they're stuck under the Path to the Peak, you know. It looks like we are going to go for the Lost City so we can draw some cards here. Are we going to be looking for a Boss's Orders? Yes, I believe we're looking for Boss's Orders here. So I think what you could do here actually is you just search the Boss's Orders. I don't even think you get rid of the Path to the Peak. And I think you just take the knockout on the bench and then hope that your opponent has to try to fight, or no, because the Mew VMAX in the active can still attack, right? Yeah, if he Technoblasted. If Dionysus Technoblasted last turn, then going for the boss on like a Genesect would have been the correct play here, for sure. But since it was a Melodious Echo instead, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Because Dionysus could have taken the last Fusion Strike energy off of prize cards. I don't think he did, because I think for both players it's in the middle 2 prizes. Right? Am I wrong? I know it was for at least one of the 2 players. So we're going to retreat, switch cart, play some cards out. I mean, we still could find the Boss's Orders as well, right? So we are going to use, it looks like a Cramomatic Flipping Heads to find a card. Is going to be another Lost Vacuum. Probably in case the opponent puts down another Path to the Peak on the next turn. But nope, looks like we are just going to play it, getting rid of our own Elisa Sparkle and our opponent's Forest Seal Stone. That is really cool to see because now your opponent has not used their V-Star power yet, so you are able to try to end that potentially, maybe find your own path to the peak here. But nope, still just a lost city. We could POW pad back in some supporters. Have we used a boss? We've only used a judge. There is a Roxanne in the discard as well, so maybe go for Roxanne Judge. I think they just put back in Roxanne only. That does feel fine, just because Dionysus is probably going to go to 3 or less prize cards remaining now. We're going to Power Tablet, play the Lost City, draw another couple of cards. We do find the Roxanne for next turn, but not much else for this turn. If we were to play the Escape Rope, we are just allowing the other Mew VMAX into the active spot, which will not be knocked out in one hit. Or even just the Meloetta, so that Kansa only takes 1 prize card. I think just doing the other Mew would have been correct anyway, but gonna take a whole bunch of damage on this active Mew VMAX. It cannot Psychic Leap because there are no Mew Vs on the bench to copy that attack from. But a Psychic Leap attacking this Meloetta on the bench with some Power Tablets would have been the best play here. But since Dionysus was not able to get another Mew V, had to evolve both Mew Vs into Mew VMAXs, is getting a little bit punished there, not being able to effectively heal this damage off by allowing him to shuffle his Pokemon back into the deck. So here comes a Cram-O-Matic. We do flip heads. Knocked it into his own damage counters on his active Pokemon, though, so some people would consider that cracked because it hit something, but there is no cracked dice in Pokemon, technically. I mean, if it hit, like, your opponent's hand or something, I would say, yeah, we can re-roll it. Or if it fell off the table, obviously. You don't want to use the result that's on the floor. So it looks like Dionysus is going to boss up the Genesect on the bench. The one without the Forest Seal Stone. I don't know. I think you knock out one of the ones with the Forest Seal Stone. Because then that's one less Lost Vacuum your opponent could be playing. They could be on 4. I like playing 4 in my Mew. Just to be able to thin the hand even more. Or at least I did when I was still on and off on Mew. I haven't played Mew in a few months. Just doesn't feel good enough anymore. Yet another Forest Seal Stone coming down from Dionysus here. We've got 2 of them still in play. Can use that V-Star power at any point. And we've got a Power Tablet as well. Gonna draw another couple of cards. So yeah, Dionysus just thinning through his deck, drawing as many cards as possible. Does find another Elisa Sparkle, so if he was able to go for the Psychic Leap, he would have that to be able to get those Fusion Strike energies back into play next turn, but unfortunately not going to be seeing that, and we're just going to copy Melodious Echo to take the knockout, putting that Genesect into the Lost Zone, which doesn't really matter, because these Mew decks no longer play any Pokemon Recursion. And now Kansa is behind 4 prize cards. Will be able to potentially take a knockout on this active Mew VMAX now. But Dionysus is just 1 Boss's Orders away from being able to win the game. Oh, I guess a Boss's Orders and a Double Turbo Energy, I suppose. Because that Mew VMAX on the bench does have the Choice Belt, which will counteract the Double Turbo to be able to allow it to one-shot a Genesect. Oh, we also see an Avery here as well. Ooh, do we go for the Roxanne or do we go for the Avery? That's a very interesting decision. Honestly, I think you go for the... Oh, God, do you go for the Avery? I mean, if you hit your own path to the peak off the Roxanne, then that's definitely the correct choice to go for. And I think you want to take the knockout with the Meloetta. Retreat into that. 4, 5, 6. There is a Cram-O-Matic. If we can flip heads, on the Cram-O-Matic, then we could see the Path to the Peak come out of this deck now. But of course, if you do Path to the Peak, your opponent does have 2 Forest Seal Stones still in play. As long as they're able to draw one of the 2 cards they need, they can Forest Seal for the other that does go through the Path to the Peak. So I think what you do have to do is, do you find the Path to the Peak? Because if you do, your opponent uses the... Yeah, I definitely think Avery was the more correct play. Because then your opponent has to discard at least 1 Genesect, right? They would discard one of the Genesects and the Meloetta. I guess they could still have 2 Genesects. It's such a hard call. But the Forest Seal Stone still being unused from Dionysus is what's making this game really weird, because Consta could be coming back from it, but is actually going to attack with the Mew VMAX instead of the Meloetta. I guess that's not how I would have done it, but I guess that is correct. Because Dionysus could still just knock out the Meloetta and then only need 1 more prize after that. But we are going to use the Fusion Strike system to draw a whole bunch of cards, making that Roxanne completely irrelevant. Do we not even bother trying to go for the Cram-O-Matic to find the Path to the Peak? No, looks like we did. Maybe we failed it. And finds the boss's orders for the game. So that is going to be game 1 going to Dionysus pretty cleanly. And we are going to just see it go straight into game 2 here. So let us skip ahead into the next game. And let's see if Consta is able to bring it to a game 3. I really like to see when these games go to game 3. I mean, these games are long enough as it is, right? Looks like Dionysus mulliganed. Does have a Pokemon to start here. Good. God, my throat is so dry from doing all these. Also, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe, all that good stuff up above, because that is very important. Looks like 2 Fusion Strike energies from Consta. Not what you want to see when you're this far behind. Dude, my throat is so freaking dry. I've recorded so many games in a row. I've recorded like 12 games in a row or something right now. It's absolutely asinine. I gotta make sure that people have content while I'm spending the week with my dad after moving. My dad is coming up from Florida to help with the move. I gotta pick him up from the Albany airport this upcoming Saturday as of recording, which is probably last Saturday as of you guys watching it, I think. Yeah, I think so. Or maybe even 2 Saturdays previously. I don't even know. I've recorded so much today. So we attach to the Ice Cube and we Elisa Sparkle. Wait. Was that just a draw and pass with an Ice Cube in the active? Hold up. Hold up. I need to see this again. Sometimes when I get lost in my stories. Is this like seriously it? Let's watch this game 3 a second time. Yeah, Dionysus draws a card, so yeah, that must have just been a draw and pass from Consta. It was so hard to tell. There is absolutely nothing that can be played in his hand. Oh my god. Yeah, so we just go for the Ultra Ball to... Oh my God, yeah. So we just Elisa Sparkle and attach for turn, and that's the game. Wow. Yeah, again, guys, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It is very important for the YouTube algorithm for games like this to keep coming to you. As of time of recording, we're actually at 900 subscribers. As soon as we get to 1,000, we get re-monetized. I haven't been monetized since the Adpocalypse, which was years ago. I've been doing YouTube on and off for 10 years. Very much off. On and very much off for 10 years. And there was a time when I was monetized because they were giving it out to everybody like candy. You didn't even have to have that many subscribers. But yeah, you need 1,000 subscribers now to be monetized post Adpocalypse. And yeah, Block Slider just takes the knockout on the active. 40 damage for each Fusion Strike energy. And yeah, but once we start getting monetized back on the channel, I can hopefully, like, maybe get a better camera, maybe get some, like, flood lighting for my green screen so that it doesn't look all like this. Stuff like that. That's exactly what I'll be investing in, because obviously this is not my job, but it would be nice to have income from it to be able to put back into it. I think it's just fun doing this. Oh, and that's a really beat up Worlds deck box too. I have a friend who has a Worlds deck box from DC, and it's even more beat up. The entire face of it is just gone. We'll see you guys next time for Top Cut. Dionysus looking like he made it into Top Cut, more than likely. So we will see you guys then.